service to our country. The president said it, but many of us don't know whether he believes it. In fact, all indications are it is exactly because of McCain's disagreement with Trump's assault on the ACA and on many other points of character and leadership that Trump disrespected McCain even in death. When it comes to how the president has related to this senator, there's only one thing you need to remember.
Frank, let me get to it. He hit me. He's not a war hero.
He's a war hero.
He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
And then today, when he was asked about these questions about Senator McCain, what was the president's response? Take a look.
Mr. President, any thoughts on John McCain? Mr. President, any thoughts on John McCain, sir? Any action to the American Legion asking you to put a proclamation about John McCain?
Going that way, John Carl.
Why won't you say anything about John McCain?
Great debaters, Bakari Sellers and Rick Santorum. Can you dignify that for us, Rick?
Look, I just don't think it does anything to the memory of John McCain to use him as a cudgel to beat up the president at this point. I mean, look, let's focus on the man and what he did and his life, but the media seems to have this fascination to try to use the death of John McCain to further belittle and beat up Donald Trump.
You think we need this to find reasons to criticism?
For John McCain's
you think we need to do that to find reasons to criticize the president?
Whether you need to or not,
this
it doesn't really matter. You're doing
that
it.
matters, Rick, and you should think about how you behave in it as well. All of us do. These moments matter. John McCain made a point to not have him invited to his funeral. Why?
So why don't you beat up on John McCain for not inviting the president?
Because I don't think he was wrong to do it. It's his funeral.
Well, okay,
and it's
so
about what he thought mattered.
You're not beating up on John McCain for his. You shouldn't beat up on the president.
He's not a cudgel. I'm not beating up on the president. I'm playing his words. And the fact that you would see those as inherently indicting of his behavior, I think, puts the point out there for everybody, Bakari, because in moments like this, you guys all get measured who want to lead the rest of us. How do you act? What will you project? What do you make it about for the rest of us? The president took that opportunity, and he did what he wanted to with it. Fair point.
I think what we're seeing right now is that Donald Trump has turned this Republican Party into one of cowardice. I mean, you see good people like Rick Santorum who contort themselves into pretzels trying to defend the behavior of the president of the United States today. I mean, the fact is you have John McCain, who's a war hero. I mean, even my Democrats, even the people who are on the left who want to chastise him for whatever his policy may have been, we're saying that now is not the time. But you have a president of the United States who doesn't believe he's a president of moral authority. He doesn't believe that he's anyone who has to stand up and show the rest of the world that the United States is the beacon of morality, the beacon of what it means to be ethical, the beacon of what it means to be a leader in the world. You have a president who's small, who's petty, who's a sociopath. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but defamation, as you know, Chris, the absolute defense is absolute truth or a piece of truth. And I can tell you that he has a dose of psychopathy. But you have a president today who did not stand up. You have a president this week who did not stand up and show the best of what we can be. And that's a problem. John McCain deserves all the glory today. John McCain is a Republican who I can honestly say that if my son wants to be a Republican when he grows up, be like John McCain. We can live in that America. That's okay. You don't have to kowtow like Rick's doing right now on TV and make excuses for a president who does not deserve excuses.
Well, Rick, you agree with Bakari about what to remember about Senator McCain and what he represented for your party, right?
I do, and I've commented on it. I will continue to comment, that John McCain was a great American. I didn't always agree with John McCain on the issues, but John McCain was a great American.
And you don't need to for him to be a great American, even a great politician. You don't have to agree with him.
I understand that, but to suggest somehow that the president didn't heap praise on John McCain and that made him a lesser person because he wasn't as effusive in praise as others were, I just think is the reason that you see so many Americans
for 2 days.
He did not say nothing. He tweeted out immediately his respects.
Condolences to the family. That's what a president says when you lose a major figure of your political culture.
Let's just be honest. I mean, I understand that.
I actually think Chris is wrong here. I think you're wrong here. And with all due respect to you and to Rick both, I actually think that you're wrong here. You're expecting more of Donald Trump than we expect of him. I mean, Donald Trump is the same person who believed in birtherism, whereby John McCain was someone who took the mic
This is
from.
why nobody listens to the media, Bakari, because you just keep this.
But how is that not true? But Rick, is that not true?
Of trying to beat up this president for every.
But Rick,
if he does something, he doesn't do enough.
But Rick,
if he does something, he doesn't do enough. He doesn't do it sincerely.
How about this, Rick? When I say actually say
most
something,
Americans, just
Rick,
so you understand
when I say something that's not true, you chime in. The president was the original person who was beyond birtherism. That's what he believed in. What John McCain actually took the mic from someone who thought that Barack Obama was a Muslim, so she could not hear what he had to say. I mean, these are two vastly different individuals. And so, yes, I disagree with you. I disagree with Chris. I disagree with both of you all tonight because I don't have a level of expectation higher for Donald Trump. Rosa Parks and everyone else has said it best. You know, you have to believe people when they tell you who they are. Donald Trump has shown to be who he is. And today, for some reason, Chris and everyone else have a higher expectation or level of expectation for Donald Trump. I do not. What we know is that John McCain is a great American. Donald Trump, in his death, can only ascribe to be that great. Right now, he has a long way to go.
Rick, in the goodbye letter, the farewell letter that John McCain wrote, what do you think his main message was in it?
Well, his main message, I think his main message of his entire career was American exceptionalism. And I find it remarkable that Bakari Sellers, who sits there, and your brother, who doesn't think America is exceptional, that America is a deeply flawed country on so many fronts.
Don't play
Jesus. You're so petty.
But excuse me, who's calling who petty? Bakari?
I'm calling you petty, Rick. You're so petty, Rick.
No, you've been trouncing me since we got on this program.
You're petty, though.
The reality is,
we can't even be Republican tonight.
God forbid you be better, though, Rick, right? Make sure you always lower yourself.
No, I'm not lowering myself.
Of course you are.
John McCain.
You talk about my brother not thinking that America's exceptional. You can't do better than that. I'll give you 100 things about my brother that are true. That are much worse than that. He said it and it was wrong and he corrected it. God forbid our president try that once. God forbid you try it once, Rick.
I think
you say 2 + 2 is 5. You'll argue it into the ground.
I think Trump corrected himself quicker than your brother did on this McCain situation. On this whole thing.
Hold on a second. Did you ever hear the president say that he was sorry for disrespecting John McCain? Did you ever hear him say he was sorry for lowering the staff and putting it back up? Have you ever heard him apologize for anything, Rick Santorum, right now?
All I can tell you is that...
No. Tell me yes or no. Have you ever heard the president apologize for anything?
No, I actually haven't.
I don't know where we are, guys, but I'm just going to say that...
We're where it matters, Bakari.
But, yeah, I don't know where we are right now, but I will just say this. John McCain deserves a better dialogue than what we're having right now. John McCain deserves...
It's because we decided to politicize John McCain's death. That's why
you actually were on first, Rick, so let's just chill for 1 second.
I don't actually... It doesn't have to be about right or wrong, Bakari. You can make your points. John McCain was the biggest fighter of the three people on this screen right now. He would have fought for what he fought.
I want to one day be able to have conversations on TV, have conversations in private and public, where we get back to where we once were as a country. John McCain was emblematic of what it meant to be American. I can say that as a black Democrat from South Carolina. I can recognize what it meant to be great and exceptional in this country. And the problem that we have right now is that people contort themselves into believing something that we're not. Like, the fact is, we deserve to be better than we were yesterday, better than we are today. I'm not done yet, though.
Yeah,
I'm not done, Rick. We deserve to be better than we are, and we have to believe in what tomorrow can hold. John McCain represented that. And so whatever your policy differences are, whatever you want to say about the Affordable Care Act and all that other stuff, we have to be able to understand what it means to be American.
I think
we're being petty.
That's a fair point, and it's a fine point to make. Rick, make that last point.
I would just say that one of the great gifts of John McCain, and I can say this because of my own personal experience with it, because I had some really tough fights with him, was his ability to forgive and move on and look at the best interests of America. I mean, Bakari, look at what was said by Democrats in 2008 about John McCain.
God.
He was called a racist. He was called everything in the book. And he forgave all that and moved on. Why? Because he cared about America.
You forgot that George W. Bush said he had a black child in South Carolina. So let's not blame this on partisanship.
All right. He had a
Bangladesh child
the bottom
that they
line
said
is,
that was a black child. That's how he won. That's how George W. Bush won the South Carolina primary back in 2004. So let's not act as if this is partisanship.
All right. Look,
The bottom
You know-
line is John McCain was able to forgive and to look past these things and to look and do what's in the best interest
He
of the
was a
country.
good man.
And I think
he
we
was
need
a
to do
fighter,
that in his
and he
moment of death
believed in
and
things
remembrance.
that are important to remember today. But let's make one point clear, Bakari. You fight for what you think is right, and you do it. And if it gets hot, it gets hot. It's how you deal with it afterwards. That's what I liked about John McCain as a politician. As a man, he was beyond reproach. He lived through things and made sacrifices the rest of us can't even imagine. But in politics, he'd come at me. He wouldn't like some of the things. It was going to be hot. And then he moved forward and came back the next time.
Agreed.
That's rare today. Rick Santorum, Bakari Sellers, I expect both of that of you as well. Thank you for being on with me.
All right, Chris.
From one political situation to another. And this one is a real crisis and one of accountability. Generations of sex abuse are being revealed within the Catholic Church. It's very real, and the problem doesn't seem to be receding. There are new allegations that implicate the Pope for one former Vatican official. We're going to take you inside this situation all week. We're going to start with a cardinal who's named in this new testimony from an archbishop who is making ugly claims about him. The Cardinal answers next.